Hey, Nicole Huntsman, your astrologer from moderncosmic.com. We're going to talk about the Davison chart, South Node in Pisces, or the 12th house. If the South Node for you is in Pisces or it's in the 12th house, this is for you. Now, this is a doozy. The South Node in Pisces, even South Node or North Node in Pisces, the Pisces Virgo axis, this speaks to very karmic issues. Pisces in particular covers a lot of ground. There are a lot of possibilities about how this relationship could have played out, but the key theme is, in my mind, missing in action. So in a past life, there is a theme where one of the partners wasn't there. Pisces is the world of the formless, and so whether this partner was absent due to alcohol or drug use, or whether there was abandonment, whether there was the death, the loss of like a parent, or a relationship where there was sort of a victim. There can be kind of a victim perpetrator thing happening with this as well. But more than anything, it's just a sense of suffering in a past life, and it's the sense that the two of you were somehow not able to fully be realized in the world of the formed. Okay, so with this, obviously there comes this sort of, in my mind, Pisces South Node, unless you had a really evolved, it depends on house placement as well, but if you had a really evolved past life with each other, and maybe you had a creative life that was based in fantasy, maybe the relationship had a hard time realizing their sort of creative dreams together, but at least it wasn't as bad as what it could have been, like abandonment or death or that kind of thing. Now, what happens when you have a past life where you, let's say, you died or you escaped through drug use or just leaving? You kind of owe the person that you left behind. You kind of owe them in this life to show up for them. And so what I see a lot is you'll then see, this is actually very fascinating, you'll see the North Node in Virgo in the Davison chart or the composite. And you will then see when I do the POV chart, so when I make the Davison chart for the couple, and then either just in the Davison itself, you're going to see Pisces Virgo stuff. You'll see whether sun, moon, personal planets, strong Neptune. It'll show up again in that chart, the Davison itself, which is where you've got the North Node, North and South Node anyway. But then do the POV. So then look at each partner's chart, and whichever partner is holding more of the sort of Piscean or Virgo planets, they're the one that's showing up as the servant this time. Like they're the one that's paying it back. And look at the nodes for both people as well, and then look at where the nodes fall. It's going to give you a whole picture. So, yeah, and this is one where anything that's got to do with Pisces, Virgo also, any of the mutable signs, you can't force things to happen, and you can't just walk away from them. They're very time-based in my mind. And when you're going through Pisces, if you're in a Piscean relationship or a Neptunian relationship, by that I mean if you're experiencing transits or you're just in a relationship that has a strong theme in the Davison chart of Neptune or Pisces, such as the South Node in Pisces, it's kind of like you got to take care of business, or else it's not going to get cleaned up, and then you're going to have to take care of it in another life. And in my mind, it's also one where when it's taken care of, you sort of know. And I know that's not very concrete advice, I suppose, but it's just having experienced it myself. I just will say it's this thing where once it's been figured out, the soul kind of pulls back the veil of fantasy or illusion or whatever it was that was there that got you guys together in the first place to do the work you needed to do. It pulls it back, and then you can see everything clearly. And then the relationship tends to be done, and to be resolved. Now, you've got people who have, a North and South Node that has to do with Pisces, a South Node Pisces, where they have a relationship where they're together for the rest of their lives. So I'm not saying that it means that you're going to, that this relationship is going to dissolve. That depends on the entire chart. Hopefully what you can do with this is flip it. So the flip of the Pisces South Node would be Virgo, of course. This is in the real world taking care of one another, showing up for one another, being dutiful, not disappearing. You got to be careful if you're the person who was the one that disappeared in the past life. Be careful that it doesn't turn into a relationship of codependency, or where you're totally self-sacrificing for this other person, and to the point that you're getting nothing from the relationship that's beneficial for you, other than sort of balancing the karma, I guess. The higher version of this is to develop boundaries, to have a relationship based on mutual respect and love and self-sacrifice. Yes, but that should go in both directions. So because this is such a sort of unconscious South Node, it's a great one to do past life regression work with, or go to an intuitive if you've got a past life intuitive that you trust, that you've heard good things about. If you can meet with, one of my favorite things is meeting with an intuitive, then coming to an astrologer that is past life forensics work. And if they verify, if they can validate, without them knowing, obviously, without them talking to one another, if they can validate storylines, a relationship, with what the relationships look like in that past life or lives, then you've got some actual material you can work with. You can bring it up into the conscious mind and actually process it. Past life regression work is also fantastic. I almost think that's good to do first before you do anything else, because it's going to be your own, it's a hypnotherapy process. And then go to an astrologer or, an intuitive who does past life work, and see if they can validate the things that you saw. I've done this myself. It's pretty mind-blowing. So I've actually got like a list of, I think I've got 19 or so lives so far that I've been able to find. They're all very different from one another, but also follow some really similar themes, which is pretty cool. So there's also art and other ways. The reason I'm kind of talking a little bit longer on this video than I have on others is because this is such an intense South Node. Art is also another really fantastic way to dig up things from your past life, as are dreams, dream journaling. I write poetry myself. It just comes out of me. I don't know where it comes from. Some of the poems are great. Some of them are horrible, but they're oracular. Things come out and then I'm like, oh, well, that's what that was. Fair enough. And for me, that's how I'm able to access I have Saturn in the 12th house. And so it's like all that fears and things are hidden. They're stuck there in that 12th house. And so dream journaling is fantastic. Even painting, drawing, sketching. If you like to sketch, if you like to create music or listen to music, just notice patterns, notice things, notice if you like to notice signs and numbers and all that good stuff, whatever works for you. There are ways to bring up these storylines from your unconscious, or from the unconscious, I should say, from your subconscious. So, all right, well, good luck. Let me know what you think about this and how this South Node has been for you, what your relationship has looked like, or if you've known anybody with a Pisces South Node or a 12th house South Node placement. Anything you can add can help other people. Okay, have a fantastic day, and thanks for watching. All right, bye-bye.